Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price update. Of course, this is a very short update for what happened with Bitcoin, and as we said in the last video, we have one of those two options in the bearish scenario where we might see the wave C unfold with it. So in the beginning of this day, of course, we had like 1, 2, and we were expecting a wave 3, but of course after a wave 3 here reaching an uncommon target, everything was fine until, of course, your wave 4 went even higher and invalidates this impulse and touched this wave 1. So we cannot consider a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, of course, because it has been invalidated. Then we went to another option where we might see, of course, a double 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, and which is still very possible because, yeah, I know that we have a third scenario, of course, which is a diagonal where we saw a wave 5, and I told you that this is of course an optional, but it's gonna end as a truncated wave ABC. And that means, of course, you have 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and 5 waves down, finishing in ABC in a truncated wave. And that because, of course, it can be finished because of the impulse that we saw here in the wave 1, and also correction, and then another impulse in the wave 3, and then correction. And then this can be definitely considered as an impulse. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. That is some corrections here, very just one candles by one candle, but it is a very valid impulse. So we can consider that this, of course, a finished wave 5, and because of looking at the diagonal here, fib levels, we see that we have hit the 0.866, and of course hitting the 1-to-1 fib level means, of course, invalidation of this diagonal. By all means, if you dive deeper, of course, it's still looking here as for a zigzag probably, and of course you reach the 1-to-1, we cannot consider this is a diagonal anymore because, of course, you are not allowed to have a wave 5 longer than your wave 3, and therefore invalidation of this diagonal, and we are looking, of course, for lower prices once we break this 1-to-1 94,098. And of course you are looking for lower prices, and by all means we are probably in a triple 1-2s, and we are looking probably to a sharper 1-2, which it should be like this. Normally when the things start to escalate toward the downside, we see a bigger 1-2, a medium-sized 1-2, and then a sharper, thinner 1-2, and then we might start to see a very volatile wave 3 towards the upside with triple 4-5. Of course, this is your still only bearish scenario that you still have in the pocket in case we still want to take the low here, and of course we might see an impulse towards the upside. Now, what we can consider as a bullish scenario, of course, that we have finished A, B, and a C. We have two scenarios, of course, that it might unfold. If we have finished already an A, B, and a C here, of course, we can start to consider some impulsive wave, of course, to begin in the low here. So if we remove, of course, this fib, we can see here that we have started kind of like now, for so far it looks like 3 waves, but if that is gonna transform to an impulse, of course it's gonna be a different scenario here where we're gonna see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a wave 2 towards the downside, and then continuation towards the upside. However, this is still very, very lower than this price, and if there are some CVDs right now appearing on the KGT signals, so we're gonna check them, that would open the possibility, of course, for lower prices impulsively, still in a triple 1-2s scenario for finishing a wave C here. And so let's check the KGT here on the 5-minute chart. We can see, of course, so far on the 5-minute, we can see that, we have a buy signal. Of course, we have a buy signal, so be careful with it. I mean, it doesn't mean, it is not necessarily that it means that we might not take it. If we move down, we might, and take this price, we might take another buy signal. Because, for example, if you look on the 15-minute chart, you will see your buy signal is even far from this. So let's take it on the 15-minute chart, by the way. So if you can see here, since of course it will show since our first impulse. So if we see here some divergence, so be careful with it. Look at the buy, look at the signal here, and look at the divergence from that point to the top. So you will see each time a divergence here, you will see higher prices. Now, of course, this one cannot repeat so far. Of course, you want to take now the last one and these ones. So if we take this one here, the last bullish signal and the before the previous bullish signal and the one after it, we see of course kind of like divergence here, right? We see some divergence, so be careful with it. As a bullish, it might play of course a bullish scenario, but of course you have to consider that there is even one here that it has been given. So we can see here, and yeah, not so far. Yeah, it's not a divergence at all here, right? So we don't see any divergence. The price is going lower. And therefore, this might invalidate even this one because this came after, right? So basically, I don't think that we are bullish yet, all right? I don't think that we are bullish until we get 5 waves. If you gave me 5 waves here, I would say, okay, we are ready to move impulsively towards the upside. Now, if we look at the bearish scenarios, in the bearish, if we find some, yeah, okay, we already got the signals here, of course, lower signals, but of course, they look a very conversion, right? Like converging towards the downside. Now, of course, we did not get on the 15-minute chart, but maybe if we get on the 5-minute chart, some red signals here, that would be okay, a signal to move towards the downside. Of course, so far we did not really get any signal so far, so I would consider now still the bullish or the buyers are stronger. And yeah, if we move higher, we might start to get some signals maybe before we get the high here. In that case scenario, I would consider, of course, continuation towards the downside. However, based on Elliott wave, we need, of course, to see 5 waves toward the upside here to start think about it to buy, of course, in case, of course, this is a bullish scenario. So we need to see those 5 waves and then 3 waves down and then continuation towards the upside. So that was it for a Bitcoin price prediction. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comment. And if you would like to have more updates from KGT, you can of course join the Discord. I'm uploading of course much more signals there on the KGT channel. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.